Yo guys, welcome back to this new video. In today's video, we're gonna try and speedrun a MegaBase in hardcore Minecraft in 100 days. So I started by speedrunning the games, obviously looting the ocean for some quick resources and getting myself set up in this world. We also located some buried treasure, which had pretty good loot actually, a lot of iron and gold, and some TNT as well, which I will be using later. So I crafted all the basics that you need for a hardcore world, like some armor, some tools, and I also crafted I think some buckets and some flint and steel so I could make another portal obviously, which is required to beat the game. So I got some flint. It took nearly 3 tries I think, exactly. Then I made myself another portal, but I'm not a speedrunner, so this took like a good while, as you can see. I was struggling quite a bit, but eventually we got it, and then I bridged out in the nether to a bastion, a nether fortress, to try and get some ender pearls and some blaze rods. We first tackled the bastion, so I looted the chests, got a lot of gold, traded with the piglins, the usual, some arrows as well and stuff. And after trading with the piglins, we didn't have enough pearls. So I had to visit. Here you can see we only had 9 pearls, so I had to visit another bastion. So I also took all the gold from here and traded for the piglins as well. And then I believe we had over a stack, so then we were good. Yeah, 15. So then I collected some blaze rods and made myself a new portal, so we could locate the stronghold. So I went in through an eye, and then mine down at the position and then beat the game. This was pretty uneventful, nothing really happened. I just shot down all the crystals and killed the dragon. Took me an hour to beat the game, which I think is pretty fine. I'm not a speedrunner, so having to visit 2 bastions, I think in an hour to beat the game, I think it's Then we obviously went for the elytra and raided the end to collect a lot of shulker boxes and gear. So you will be needing this to build and collect the resources. I got over 20 shulkers I think. They didn't all drop shulkers, but we got we got 18 shulker boxes I think, so that's pretty good. I also set up where I want to build the base and lit up the area. I also went back to the stronghold to collect some bookshelves so we could do some enchanting with the levels we got from the dragon. I tried with some basic gear, like an axe, really good armor as well, as you can see here. We got this from combining and enchanting. We also got some pretty good tools. I used one of the books that I found in the stronghold on the axe. And, we also got a good pickaxe. Then I made the shulker boxes so we could start collecting all the materials that we will need for this base. In general, I think we will be needing over 30,000 items, so we needed a lot of shulker boxes. So I started by gathering some villagers, as we will be needing an iron farm, as I will need 2 stacks of anvils, which are very expensive obviously. And we also need iron for some other farms that we're going to build later. So I started by doing the iron farm, and you can see mined out some area. This is a super simple iron farm. All the farms I'm building are also going to be in the description. So yeah, you just need to get some villagers in, and then you need to get a zombie in a hole, and then the zombie scares the villagers, and then that makes iron spawn in the spot where you normally to spawn. It's very simple, but we will need this for beacon and stuff, and also for the anvils, as already said. Then I collected some sheep because we're also going to be needing a wool farm, and then I had to collect some more sheep because something happened to the first sheep. So yeah, back to collect more sheep. We got a lot of sheep, so we need 12 sheep I think for the farm, so plenty. Then I made the wool farm, which is very simple as well. Again, all the farms will be in the description. We also mainly needed grey wool because we're going to be using this as a stone color, because it's a lot easier to collect than stone and andesite and stuff. We will be collecting some of those as well, but later. Then we made a tree farm, as we will be needing a lot of birch wood, and also this tree farm can also do the nether trees, which are also very cool, because we will be using the red nether trees, the crimson and the ward blocks as well. We'll also be using a lot of red nether brick, a lot of nether materials in general. But this tree farm is super simple. It's basically just a TNT duper and a collection system. Very good, very handy for speedruns. Also collected a bunch of netherite to smelt into nether bricks. And I also wanted to collect a beacon, obviously, for to beat the wither. As this will allow us to insta-mine stone and stuff, which will be super helpful for like mining andesite and stuff, which is obviously takes a while if you can't insta-mine. We also we didn't have enough iron yet for the beacon, so I went and collected some spruce wood and some clay. And also I smelted the netherrack down that we got earlier into nether bricks to make red nether bricks, which is like quite expensive. You need 2 netherrack and 2 nether warts to make 1 red nether brick. Like super bad recipe, but it looks so good, so I decided to do it. And we finally had enough iron. Like I had to like literally use every single ingot from like gold and stuff as well. But we could make a beacon, so I decided to mine tough and deep slate, obviously. I also found this like slime in a cave, which was kind of unique, I thought. But yeah, we collected 1 shulker box of deep slate and 2 shulker boxes of tough, which took like a good few days, but that's fine. We also needed andesite and diorite, so I went and collected those as well while they were down in the caves. In general, like we need like 30,000 items or something. Like, as you can see here, we collected a lot already, but we still need like a lot more. We also needed cobblestone and stone, so I crafted some items to make a cobble farm. It's like also super simple. It's like literally some leaves and some lava. The lava I got from the nether. It produces like so much cobble, like if the leaves are waterlogged, it like makes cobble and stuff. So that was a pretty easy farm. We also obviously had to smelt a lot of the cobble, like the same way we smelt the netherrack, so we could get some stone. And for the red nether bricks, obviously, as I said, you need nether wart, so I built like a huge nether wart farm. As we will be needing like over 1,000 red nether bricks, which is like 2,000 red nether warts. So yeah, crazy material list, but I think it looks very good, as you will see later. And obviously oak and birch wood needed to be collected, as the farm, like the tree farm we built is very good, but it needs bone meal and I don't have that much. Then I forgot to collect enough birch, so I had to go back and collect even more. We also had to clear out the mountain, so these trees had to go anyway. So I wanted to like collect a beacon to clear the mountain where we were gonna build the base, but then when I came back, I wasn't recording, but we had the skeletons from the lightning, which I thought was pretty unique. We had some skeleton horses. So I put the beacon down next to where we're gonna build the base, and then I decided to excavate the mountain. I wanted to build the base on like a sort of hills to give it like a little bit more grand of an appearance. It's also really beautiful backdrop with like the mountains in the background and stuff. Like this was a beautiful location, but we need to like lower the terrain a little bit and make it like a little bit more flat, so we could start building on it. And after clearing the terrain, we obviously start building because we have all the materials now from like gathering them earlier and from mining the mountain. So the color palette that we're using is pretty much like a bunch of stones and tuff and some clay, and then some oak and spruce wood and some diorite and birch logs as in like an accent color kind of, along with like all the nether stuff like the red nether bricks and the leaves. So I did build this base in parts, obviously, because like it's so massive that it's like impossible to do it basically in one step. So like every few hours I took like a small break to like, for example, like right now we're collecting a netherite upgrade trim, which like you need to collect nowadays. So I like ruled some bastion to try and get the trim, and eventually we did get it. So that was quite nice. So we could go back to building the base. I will be upgrading to netherite later in this video, but right now I wanted to finish the base, so I just collected the trim and then continued building. every time you see the time lapse like switch position, basically is when I like took a break to do like some random chore in my world that we needed to do. Also, I had to take like several breaks to go and farm the nether wart as we like needed so much of it. I also didn't realize, but because the build was so high, snow started to appear on like the upper part, so we had to remove that and put string instead, so that it wouldn't snow in those positions. In total, like the highest peak of the build is at like 170 or something, Y170, so like pretty high up. So now we're like working on the middle section of the base, which will be like the big keep area, if you can call it like that. So this is just the big centerpiece. This will be the back section. I struggled a lot with this build because it was like diagonal most of it, so this section will be the gate section, so the entrance to the castle. On the right will be the entrance. I didn't really make like any path or anything because I will be doing it later, but for now we can build. So the tower that you see on the right, this will be the entrance to the castle. So then there's this section, this will be the final section. This is also where I'm gonna have my storage room, eventually. In the large building that will be the last building that we built. First we're gonna build some few smaller buildings again. In total I think the base took me like 40 or something days to actually construct. Like without getting any materials, just the building itself took like 30 days or 35 days or 40 days, something like that. But I do think the time investment was worth it, as it turned out pretty well. So this building right now that we're building, this building will be my main building where I'm gonna have my storage room. So this like has like a few windows on the top, which will make it easy for me to like fly in with an elytra. So this will be the perfect building to house this storage room. Also, as you can see, like a lot of mobs are spawning in and like on top of the castle. So we had to do like some lighting up as well, which I did off camera. So like I placed like glow lichen and stuff to prevent mobs from spawning. I also did like an interior, but like in the middle of building this large building, we had some pillagers spawning on top of the castle, which I thought was quite funny. Later on, we will also be doing like a raid with like the potion that I got from killing the guy with the banner. But yeah, here we're building the storage room, so just like very simple, just building. Like we can use the windows to like fly in, so this will be super easy. Just consists of like a few chests and like some interior. It's nothing too crazy. Like I mainly wanted to do the outside of the castle. Like the interior was just something quick that I could like use for you know, to have like a beautiful storage room. But it was nothing crazy. Just like a simple roof with like some more red nether brick and like a nice little arch here where I can like fly in, and just an enchantment table on the other side. Oh, glitch there. Okay, but it doesn't matter. Here we will be doing the enchantment table and like a few more chests, so we have plenty of room to work with. And then in the middle, I put some like carpet down or something. Yeah. I wasn't happy with the carpet, so I adjusted it later. But yeah, here you can see me lighting up the base. Like it was all lit up basically, so it looked pretty good in the night as well. Obviously, the beacon looks a bit weird, but we still had like 20 days left when I finished the base. So I decided to like make a few more farms that will like keep me going in the Sarko world. One of them was a like creeper farm, so I went and tamed some cats and then like dug out a creeper farm below the castle, so we could have a look all the gunpowder that we need to like fly around, and also like do some TNT, ancient debris mining if you want to. I also like built like a small manual sugarcane farm in like the basement of one of the buildings. Then I like did the raid as I said, which like crippled all my armor, but we did get like a few totems out of it, so I guess it was worth it. We also got the hero of the village effect, so I could like trade with the villagers for cheaper prices, which is what I did. I like went and got a mending book, so I could like repair the elytras, because like at this point I think all my elytras were like pretty much broken, because like we broke like 8 or 9 elytras trying to get all the materials. So yeah, here you can see me reloading for some mending books. Took me like one whole day I think to get a mending book, but eventually we did get it. So that was quite awesome. It was like pretty cheap as well. I mean, not that cheap, but 18 emeralds is fine. So at first I repaired one of the elytras and then I put mending on it so that we could keep using this one. I also built like collected some wool so we could do some ancient debris bed mining, which like because I don't really have that much durability on all the tools, like I think this is the easiest way to get some ancient debris to like upgrade my gear. So on day like 9, from like day 89 to like day 92 or something, we collected ancient debris. We managed to collect like 17 or 18 bits, 17, so we could make like 4 ingots. So I decided to upgrade like all my armor, as I also repaired most of my armor with some diamonds earlier after the raid. So yeah, I repaired all, like I got all the armor, not the chestplate though, because we will be wearing elytra, and then I also decided to do a sword. We also put like a cool red armor trim to go over the base on the armor. I thought this was like pretty cool. But as you can see, we still had like 7 days or so left after finishing the base, like this year. So I decided to make like a honey farm, as I want to build with like copper, and you obviously need to wax it and stuff. Like, I want to build with copper in this world. So I decided to grab some materials and build a honey farm, and I also decided to grab some materials to build like a nice building around it. As obviously we can't leave this like just sitting here. I have to put like a cool building around it. Eventually, like my plans for this world are like I want to have like a cool village over here, so this building will be like part of that village. But we can like decide to build it right now. This wasn't like a huge build or anything, but it still took me like a good like 2 days or something to complete and gather like the materials and stuff as well. So yeah, I think it turned out pretty good. It's like yellow, obviously, so we can like know that this is the honey farm with like a cool like darker roof. I think it's turned out really well. But yeah, thanks for watching. These were all the progress we made in the first 100 days. Next time I think we'll be tackling the Guardian farm. Thanks for watching.